81 degrees, and it is 5:16. Do you know that I've been recording since I got out of church? That was like at 10 o'clock. And something always kept happening. Like, after church, I had to go to the market. I was on the lookout for some cat food for my cat. She only eats Fancy Feast chicken and turkey. Walmart did not have it. And it's the dry kibble, not the wet food. She used to like wet food, but she gave that up a long time ago. I guess it was bad for her figure. But this kibble, she cannot stop eating it, you know? So anyway, they didn't have it. So I went ahead and I got other things there at the market, you know, and I thought, well, I'll just run over to PetSmart or something and get it there. Well, I ended up just going across to the grocery store that I did not want to go to today because it's always packed on Sundays. The other grocery store that's closer to me, they don't carry it either. Why? I have no idea. So then the husband starts getting into an argument with me. Here I am with my light on about 2 blocks away. My turn signal on, I mean. Starts arguing with me about President Trump and how this is his fault. And I was like, what are you talking about? What does he have to do with Fancy Feast? Now you're going to blame him for no cat food? No, like, what? I was just like, are you serious right now? And he was really serious about it. Like, you don't know, and that's why I tell you, he effed up the whole world, and now he's messed up Tabby's food too. Now she's not going to be able to get it anywhere. You're going to have to switch foods on her. There's a lot of companies that are not going to be making cat food anymore. They're closing down the plants, and he goes on. And the tariffs, don't forget the infamous tariffs. And because of the tariffs that he never fixed, he just screwed us over as a country, and I don't even know why you voted for him. And I'm just like, are you done? I'm going to have to go to the other grocery store, so I'll be home a little bit later. Jeez, like, honestly, what does Trump have to do with Walmart Market not selling Fancy Feast? Unbelievable. It is hilarious. But anyhow, thinking about that, yesterday I caught up with Rip and Beth, you know, from Yellowstone, one of the best shows ever existed, next to The Walking Dead. Walking Dead takes first for me, though, then Yellowstone, and then Handmaid's Tale, and then The Testaments. All good shows. Okay, so anyway, watching Rip and Beth, and I was like thinking, like, wow, like they're so cute together, like both good looking, you know, like they make a good looking couple, and they're both really strong, and they don't take crap from anybody, and they're always on the same page. And then I started thinking about my relationship with a husband, and I'm like, how the hell did we end up together? Yes, we met at the apartments where we used to live at. Yeah, he always tried to talk to me. Yeah, I finally talked to him. But how have we made it this long? We've been together since 2011 or 12. One of those, give or take. I stopped keeping track. But I'm like, how we're so the complete opposite. I mean, when people say opposites attract, they weren't lying. Like, I never believed it. I'm like, there's no way opposites attract. No, not in my case, buddy, you know? But I'm like, look, when I met him, he was like always listening to country music. He always wore his cowboy hat, which drove me nuts. I hated it. I'm like, can you please take that hat off? Like, it's embarrassing. Like, we are just in the truck or we're going to the store, do you really have to wear that hat like you just got off of a horse or something? Like, come on now, you know? Or anytime we would go to our local bar, that was a bad thing though. He would always like to go to this one bar and he wore his cowboy hat. And then he would brag to me about how, oh, just wait till I shave, I'll look younger. And yeah, he did. He looked better without the beard. And apparently the waitresses at the bar thought so too. Okay? So that's where I was like, okay, that's the Beth that's going to come in any minute now in me before I even knew Beth existed. I was already like, you're the trailer park and I'm the tornado, honey. But anyhow, like I could really beat anybody up. Well, maybe back then I could, not now. But anyway, so he was always listening to country music. I cannot stand country music. There are a couple of songs that I like that are catchy, you know, that I feel that are deep. And I'm like, hey, that's a good song. Like, I like the words. I'm more of a words person when it comes to the songs, the lyrics. I'm not really that much into the music, except when it comes to EDM. Totally different, okay? That's a totally different subject right there. But when it comes to like rock songs or country or even Christian, I listen to the lyrics and then I determine if I like the song or not, you know? So he would listen to country all the time. Now he switched it to the 60s, right? The 60s and the 70s, which I cannot stand either because I used to work at a music store for 3 years. And my bosses back then, well, mainly the female boss, oh, she just loved the 70s. And I'm just like, okay, I like it too, ma'am, but really, I mean, we really need to switch it up. We're a music store, like, and we're no longer in the 70s. Can we like switch it up a bit? Nope, she never would. She never would play anything else but. And a lot of the times we would just have it quiet because we're just like, we've had it already with that music, you know? Even the people that work there, the other employees, they're like, forget that. But anyway, and then, you know, I'm sure that having a real cowboy is a lot of a girl's dream in a lot of places, you know, like that's what they've always wanted, you know, especially if your name is Sissy. I got what I always wanted. I got me a real cowboy, you know. I got me a real cowboy without even wanting one. Honestly, like I never asked for a cowboy, like no. And yet, that's what I ended up with. You know, and it makes no sense whatsoever to me because I guess I'm going to park back here. I'm here to pick up my son. I'm always having to do something, you all. When I say that, I'm not joking. But anyway, yeah, I'm just like, I didn't even ask for this. You know, he grew up on a ranch. After that, in high school, he was in that program where you have to like bring up your animals and stuff and put them in those contests, whatever you call that. I'm not really into that. I mean, I'll go to one or two, but that's it. And he had to get up early to feed them, and then he had football and he had all this other stuff. The man was busy, okay? And then after high school, he went into the army. He was stationed in Honduras, and fortunately, I said, and fortunately, not unfortunately. And fortunately, very fortunate, that there was no war going on at that time. Otherwise, we probably would not have met, which would have been unfortunate. And so, he did that. And then, oh yeah, he was also a probation officer or something like that. No, he was a correction officer, not a probation officer. And then he also went into the rodeo and rode a real bull. And that is where he broke his nose. And I'm just like, what? And then this is a man, mind you, who always has a dip in their mouth. That grizzly snuff, I forgot which kind it is, something cut, always in his mouth, no matter what. The only time, I will say this, the only time he takes it out is if he eats. If he eats breakfast, lunch, dinner, then he'll take it out, he'll spit it out, rinse his mouth, he'll eat, and then it goes right back in. And I'm like, that is so nasty. I am not going to kiss you. That's nasty. Well, I still kiss him anyway, but, a little peck here and there, but not like, anyway. So, and then I should have picked up on all this when we first started talking. We started dating and everything, and then one night he asked me, and I know this is a little bit personal, but I think it's funny. I'm going to share it anyway. He says to me, "Can I have you?" And I'm like, well, what do you mean, can you have me? Like, I'm right here. Like, what are you talking about? Like, can you have me? What? And then it clicked and it dawned on me. And I was like, oh. And I was like, yeah. And that's when, this was after dating him, though, for several months. And, after that, we just ended up together. And we've been together since. But, like, my point is, that's such a romantic story, isn't it? But my point is that I never asked for the cowboy. You know what I was into, you all? I was into guys that rode motorcycles, that had tattoos, body piercings. That's what I wanted, But those never noticed me. Maybe because I'm short, and I don't have big boobs, and I wear clothes. That doesn't help, but I mean, and I don't have piercings of my own, but I just have like 2 tattoos. That's it, because the husband won't allow me to get any more, and those tattoos are on my back where you can't see them, but anyhow, you never know who you're going to end up with. So give people a chance, people. Okay? You don't want somebody exactly like you. Yeah, you want somebody with the same interests as you, because he and I don't have anything in common. However, it's not so bad to be with somebody that's completely opposite of you. They can actually help balance you out. So give love a chance, people. Viva la diferencia, whatever, however you say it. Okay, just give it a chance. He and I may not have a very good relationship most of the time. Sometimes we can't stand each other, we don't like each other, but we do love each other. So there's that. And what I really wanted to talk about was a documentary. Anyhow, what I really wanted to talk about was a documentary that I saw last night that a friend recommended to me. And I hope it's okay to call you friend, because I consider you a friend. And she recommended the Forks and Knives. She's really aware very aware, that I have type 2 diabetes. And I've said this on my I was going to say my stream. When did I go live about it? In my videos, and how I've been dealing with that, and the medications and stuff like that are just not good for me and stuff. And, she recommended that I watch this documentary. Well, I'm really glad that she did, because immediately, 10 minutes in the documentary, I was thinking the Book of Daniel. Hang on, you all. I need water. All right. And in the Book of Daniel, they talk about how they took a group of boys, and the king fed them nothing but the finest vegetables, fruits, gave them water for a period of time. And after that period of time, these boys were better nourished and healthier looking, and even wiser compared to the other people that were eating from the king's table, that had the meats and the the wine, all that stuff that is really not that great for you. And I had no idea that milk, or rather calcium, if you're not taking the right calcium, or if you're not taking the calcium with other supplements, it can actually accumulate in your bones and cause osteoporosis. I was like, you're kidding. Like, everybody thinks milk is good. You need milk for strong, healthy bones and teeth, which is true. But however, you need to make sure you're taking other supplements with it to make sure that those nutrients are going to the right places and not just accumulating. And I was like, yeah. And then I've also heard about what your plate should look like. This is how much protein your plate should have, starches, and then it's more vegetables than anything else. I love vegetables. You throw anything green at me, I will eat it. Even peas sometimes, depending on what they look like. But what I don't like very much is only corn and peas. But I'll eat the peas if they're frozen, but sometimes, not all the time. Oh, and carrots. I'm not a big carrot fan. I will eat it in soups with a pot roast, but not just as a snack. But anyway, I was thinking about that, and I was just like, what happened to me? Like, why am I not eating this stuff anymore? I know better. Like, why didn't I stick to this? And here comes a child already. And so anyhow, like I'm saying, the message at church today kind of like resonated with me in this sense, because one of the things that Dr. Milton pointed out is stop feeding the flesh. And in Christian terms, or Christian life, that's a very wide term, and it's applied with everything. But right now I'm just concentrating on foods. So what I'm saying is, stop feeding the flesh, stop caving into your cravings. My vices are sugar and caffeine. And sugar's in everything, let's face it. Now, it's okay to have some sugar, but not a lot of sugar. Sugar can create other bacteria in your body, which I'm now learning. And those are not good. And, and I know it's so, the temptation's always there, but, greater is he that is in us than he that is in the world. And that's what we have to keep in mind, when we start eating, and what our choices are. And listen, I'm preaching to myself right now as well, because that's what I needed. I needed this. I needed to see the documentary, to remind me, like, Moon, you are not eating good. And I even told the husband, we are not eating the right foods. We're not eating the right amounts of the right foods. So, lastly, I went to ChatGPT. I asked it to create a menu for me, a weekly menu, only I included proteins, and because I can't do just vegetarian, I really can't. But, and of course, no eggs, because I have an egg intolerance, and limited dairy also. And, okay, ma'am, you're able to back out from there. Is that other person leaving? Yeah, okay. Let me pull up closer because the child will not see me. So, anyhow, just ask ChatGPT for a menu and it'll give you one, and an affordable one. It gave me a very affordable menu too. And it didn't ask for anything extravagant or anything like that. And it's usually the foods that you already buy, your chicken, your turkey, fish. I love fish. And I even considered being a pescatarian, but if you're a woman and You know, if you know, you know, and yeah, I don't want that. So, I mean, I'll eat it in moderation, but not every day. So, anyhow, that's all I got for today. I hope you all are enjoying your Sunday. And thank you for listening. Thank you for the recommendation. And I will talk to y'all again soon.